All right, good afternoon and welcome to the fifth edition of Shulchan Aruch Yomi. This is one of the days where you say, wow, I am so glad I joined this movement because, unlike Daf Yomi, the best you're going to do is get an Amud at the end of every Masechta. Masechta could be 120 dapim. You get one daf at the end of the Masechta, only one Amud. You jump for joy. Some Masechtas like that, some not. Here, you actually get a siman in Shulchan Aruch, siman Hey. We're only doing one siman a day. And there's only one sif. There's only one halacha mentioned in siman Hey. It'll be very quick today. For those of you who have to catch a train, have to go somewhere. If you don't have to go anywhere, I'm sorry, I can't continue for longer. But there's plenty of other shurim I give. I have almost 700 videos on my channel. I have more videos than subscribers. Start subscribing, please. Um, anyway, so we have one sif today, siman Hey. And you get vacation on Friday and Shabbos because I only do it 5 days a week because personally I don't think I'm overworked, but I can't do this on Friday and Shabbos. I don't have time basically on Friday and Shabbos. I barely have time to do the other share. Four small kids, wife who needs help. Not easy. But the other ones I have no choice in the matter. Mishnah Yomi and Daf Yomi. Someone else decided that they go for 7 days a week, but I decide this myself, and only 5 days a week. You get a break, you get a weekend. It's what the best cycle of limud ever, learning ever. Let's get into it. Siman Hey, Kavanas HaBrachos. Sif Aleph, the only Sifir. Yechavin B'Brachos Perish HaMilos. This they explain in the Mishnah Berurah. The Mefarshim explain this is from a Gemara in Brachos. The Gemara says you're not supposed to be zorik a bracha mipiv. You're not supposed to throw a bracha out of your mouth. So they explain that. The Mefarshim explain. The Shulchan explains it to mean that you have to understand what you're saying. It sounds like a halacha. Obviously, if you don't have kavanah, you don't understand what you're saying. You're still yotze the bracha, but that's where they get it from. You could have learned, like Gemara, that you should say it slowly. You should enunciate the letter. It's not necessarily that you have to understand what you're saying. But Shulchan Aruch maybe is adding a layer of level, a level of, a layer of level, another level. I don't know if this is true or not. As Rosh Hashiva, right, Friedman from Beitar always used to say when he was learning, is this mukhrach? Is this a mukhrach? Meaning, do you have to say this? When he would give an Ian shir on the Gemara, you have to say this like forced. It would bother him a lot. To say something that wasn't mukhrach, he held that was like kfira almost. To say that wasn't mukhrach. But as I find that they go through a lot of the Shulchan Aruch over here, and you come with me on this journey, there are a lot of halachos which are stated as halachos, which are not mukhrach at all. I'm just telling you why it's not mukhrach. Again, you could ask your rabbi if you really have to understand what you're saying when you say brachos. Let's continue. When you say Hashem's name, say Baruch Atah Hashem. The way you say it, Ado. You can say it on camera. You have to have a lot of things in mind. You're supposed to chavin for what it means. So when you say Ado Hashem, you have to have Ado. The word Adon is a master. He's the master over all of mankind. You also have the way it's written, Yud Ke Vav Ke. That really means it's a synopsis. It's a acronym for saying that he exists presently, and will always exist. He exists eternally. He's your master and exists eternally. Skiro Elokim. You say Elokim, and you say Elokim, right? Shem Midas Adin. Yichavin Shu Takiv Bal Yichol Zubal Kol Kulam. You should have in mind that Hashem is very strong. He is the most strongest creation there is. He can do anything, and he has all infinite power to do whatever he wants. And you should have those in mind. Mishnah Berurah brings from the Gra. It says that technically, when we say you have to have kavanah for brachos, you only have to have kavanah for what's written, for what you say. When you say Ad Hashem, even though it's written Yud Kei Vav Kei, You don't have to have in mind that Hashem is eternal and was always eternal. You just have to have in mind that He's your master. You're a slave to Hashem. Um, that's all you have to have in mind. He says, but Kriyat Shema is different. Kriyat Shema, you have to, I don't know where he knows this, the Gross says that you're supposed to have in mind, people are very mocked doing Kriyat Shema, to have in mind all these things, to have in mind the message of Yud Vavke. But he says, Maker Adin, normally, even by Kriyat Shema Maker, and still, even by Kriyat Shema as a Chumrah, that you have to have in mind that Hashem is eternal. But you always have to have in mind what you say. You say Ad Hashem, that means you're the slave of Hashem. Now, I always had a problem when I was younger. I used to say Adon. I pronounced the end of the word Nai with a patach. Um, I was informed when I came to yeshiva in Beitar. The reason I referenced Rabbi Yaakov Friedman a lot is because um, I asked him so many shilas. I lost track how many shilas, halachic shilas I asked him. I also asked him some ashkavic shilas, a lot of ashkavic shilas, but I asked him a lot of halachic shilas. Firstly, I went through the Mishnah Brura. Pretty much all of Mishnah Brura except Hilchos Erev, and I probably didn't get to. I went through almost all of Mishnah Brura, and as you see, the Mishnah Brura is not always clear. So I would ask Rabbi Friedman for a psak halacha. That's why a lot of the discussions we're going to have in this thing about what he told me, things he told me, and my reaction now to what he told me. But he told me that I didn't pronounce the word correctly. Nai, it's noi. This is what the Mishnah Brura says. The Mishnah Brura is bekamatz. And I saw Rabbeinu Bechaya, this is just interesting, he says in Parsha, in Sefer Bereshis, I think this is mentioned by Avram, when he went to leave, I think by Avram, when he went to the Malachim or something like that. He said the difference between a kamas and a patach is that kamas, noi, is that he's the complete master and everyone's slaves to him. We just say nai is really just a way of saying a sir or something like sir, hey sir. It's a higher ranking member official, but he's not the master of everything. So that's why you say the kamas. This is what the Mishnah Brura says. Seems like this is halacha. Anyway, stay tuned for Iyun Shulchan Aruch Yomi, where in the Gemara in Psachim that talks about, right? We said we pronounce the Midas Harachamim Yud Vavke. You pronounce it Adon. I don't want to call it. Hashem is the master of everything. The Gemara explains this duality that we're saying one thing and we're reading one, we're seeing one thing and we say another thing. Explains it more in the Gemara. Stay tuned for that. You're not going to want to miss that. Coming up right now.